Concept 2, graphing quadratic functions using a table. Alright, so when we're graphing a quadratic function, we have to use a table of values. Okay, if you remember back when we were doing linear equations, we could plot 2 points and then connect the line and just extend it, or we could plot 1 point and use the slope to extend our line. We can't do that here because we've got a curved line. It's going to change. Alright, so we need to plot our points, plot some values of x to be able to see what our line is going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plug those in. Negative 2 squared is going to be a positive 4, minus 1 is 3. Negative 1 squared is 1, minus 1 is 0. 0 squared is 0, minus 1 is 1. 1 squared, 0. 2 squared minus 1 is 3. Okay, go ahead and plot my values. Negative 2, 1, 2, 3. Negative 1, 0, 0, negative 1, 1, and there we go. Okay, this value here, the reason why my vertex is below my x-axis, okay, it's below 0, is because of that negative 1. Alright, so if I draw my line, that's a little bit too steep. Should be something more like that. It is going to keep going forever, right? We do have our arrows, but I'm not too worried if you plot these points and then it gets a little bit off. Okay, probably this should be coming up something like that. It is going to get more steep the further up you go, and so it's just going to keep getting steeper and steeper and steeper. So it's not super important that these lines are accurate going up, but just showing that yes, this is a parabola, it is going to go on forever. That's what's important. Okay. If we were trying to find an actual value for up here, we would probably just plot that point. Okay. All right. So now we have one that's a little bit different. Okay. We have two changes here. We've got, first of all, a negative in front of our x squared, and we're adding x. Okay, so that's going to change things. So let's go ahead and just plot our points. Let's see where it works out. Okay, so on this, remember, your negative is outside of that x squared. Okay, that's your first thing that you do, and then you include the negative, and then you add your x. So I've got a negative 2 squared, which would be a positive 4, but it's negative, and then I'm adding another negative 2, so that's going to be a negative 6. Negative 1 squared would be positive 1, but it's negative, so negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. 0 squared doesn't matter, it's all 0. 1 squared would be a 1, but it's negative, plus a positive 1. Negative 1 plus a positive 1 is also going to be 0. So that starts looking different. And then 2 squared is 4, but it's negative. So negative 4 plus a positive 2 is going to be negative 2. And now I'm glad to see that, because it does look like we've got our center point somewhere in there. We're starting to see repeated values. Okay. So if I plot these points, I've got 0, 0. I've got 1, 0. I've got 2, negative 2. I've got negative 1, negative 2. And I've got negative 2, negative 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And now I'm starting to get an idea of what my parabola is going to look like. And the fact that we have these two zeros, okay, these 2 points, tells me that we did not get an x value that is equal to our vertex. Okay, so the very highest point of my parabola is actually going to be here in the middle at 1/2 x. Okay, and it's going to be somewhere up in there. All right. So if you ever see that where you don't have one lowest or one highest point in the middle of your table, it just means you didn't hit the very center value. Okay, your vertex. All right. But otherwise, I can graph it out. Kind of trace my line down, something like that. Same on this side. Okay, and that would be my vertex. Okay, or my parabola. It opens downward because of this negative sign. Okay, and it is not directly lined up over my y-axis because I'm adding x. Okay, that's going to shift it right and left. All right, adding an x value. Okay, let's go to another one. All right, so this one's probably a little bit easier actually. I've got a negative 1/2 x squared. So negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 1/2 of that is going to be a negative 2. Negative 1 squared is 1 times negative 1/2 is negative 1/2. 0. Okay. 1 squared, still going to have negative 1/2. 2 squared, it's going to be back to negative 2. Okay, and you can see I'm not adding or subtracting any x, so my parabola is going to line up directly with the y-axis. Okay, so I got 0, 0. I got 1, negative 1/2, and negative 1, negative 1/2, and 2, negative 2, 2, negative 2. And we can see on this one, and if we plotted more points, it would be a little clearer, but you can see that my parabola is more broad, okay? It's not as narrow, all right? And that is because of that 1/2, all right? It's opening downward because it's a negative, but it's wider because it is 1/2. So the larger value you're multiplying by your x squared, the narrower your parabola is going to be. The closer to 0 you get, the wider it is. Okay, if I had like negative 80, it'd be a really wide parabola. Okay, or not negative 80, sorry, negative 1/80th, or even positive 1/80th. It'd be a really wide parabola. Okay, we're going to look more at how changing your values changes what your parabola looks like, but we're going to save that for a little bit later.